Hey you, do you remember this? It was out of my control, Mindfull told me to.
Clear out the room, I'm coming through, they wanna see what I'm about.
She's had a breakdown. Bam, 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 bam. Break it down. Break it down. Break down. Break it down. What? I don't want to blow my own horn, but if there's one thing I'm good at, it's... Hello! Welcome to the show! I'm Lauren! And I'm really fucking good at... Fine. There's loads of things I'm good at, but I do kill it when it comes to not learning from my mistakes. Seriously, I used to have a tattoo that said, learning through mistakes since 1989, and I had to get it covered up because I was living a lie. Back towards the start of this do-it-yourself mental health journey, video 3 in fact, we let the mental health resource site Mindfull choose everything we did for the day. And that remains my most popular video. Now I talk about reminiscing as a form of self-care. What about actually taking a trip down memory lane, reliving the good times, and doing it all again? But first, for the uninitiated, Mindfull is a free-to-access platform that syncs the best mood-boosting content from across the web. It's just packed to the rafters with useful mental health resources that you can browse by how you're feeling or the type of activity you want to participate in under the categories of watch, listen, do, read, talk. And of course, if you're experiencing a mental health crisis, there's also an SOS section where you can find information and contact details for the UK's most trusted helplines and charities. Last time, how we went about this nonsense was to filter down by each of the categories and just play Russian roulette with the resources. We found out I had We found out I couldn't say imposter. Imposters. The struggle. It's all coming flooding back. We got dissed by my nan. Let's ring my nan. We got confused by Bob Mortimer. I don't know what I just listened to. We had a life-changing bath. Oh my god. I'm a changed woman. We got a new journal, which I can tell you I did not stick to. Big dreams. We're doing things a little differently this time. One of my favourite things about the site Mindfull is the dog on the skateboard. But one of my other favourite things about the site Mindfull is the fact that the resources are updated regularly. If you find or if you know of a resource that's helped you that's not currently on the Mindfull site, you can just send them a message over Instagram and they'll see what they can do. Love that for us as a community. So this time we're still gonna filter by category and work through each one, but we are going to be doing the most recent resource in each category. And while I'm deep in there, I may as well tell you what else they've added since the last time we had a chat about Mindfull. Are you ready for this? My anxiety isn't. We're gonna start with hopefully an easy one. Let's see what's new in the world of reading. How to Survive Creative Burnout. Scott Birkenbag is the author of 8 popular books on creativity, design, leadership, and public speaking. He also knows a thing or two about creative burnout. Brag. why it happens, what the signs are, and most importantly, how to overcome it. Burnout means you've pushed your creativity beyond its limits, and you'll probably be feeling pretty down and hopeless about it. I am now. It can affect your job, your relationships, and have a huge impact on your general sense of happiness and well-being. Have a read of Birkin's rather long but brilliant essay on creative burnout via the link below. I shall. Apparently this is just a chapter from The Dance of the Possible, the mostly honest, completely irreverent guide to creativity.
Like the city lights, heard that boy was switching up, tell him he gon' need advice. If you still around, you still by me, yeah, you did me right. Now they mad at you, shit was bad, so we did what we had to do.
Oof, that was long, and I hate reading from a screen. Shh, that's 80% of my job. But I love that it's completely free, so stop complaining, Lolly. It was a really insightful article. It was really well written. It uses phrases like yuppified form of urban cattle. Here are some of my favourite suggestions from the article. Birkin encourages us to laugh more, find whatever it is that we find funny and bring it into our lives. What did Batman say to Robin before they got in the car? I don't know. Get in the car, Robin. He encourages us to scream? You're gonna have to read it to find out why. Apparently practice yelling ordinary words, such as papaya. I'm gonna do something scary! Versus generic scream sounds. You know, your R's, your R, your ah, etc. And we should prioritise fun time. How much time per day do you spend doing stuff purely for fun? Just because you like it and for no other reason? Why isn't this number larger? I don't even know what I do for fun and no other reason whatsoever. Dress my dog up? Watch fights? Birkin also suggests that we introduce more sleep and exercise into our lives. Start taking a walk every day. Go swimming. Have more / better sex. Can I get some privacy, please? Like I said, Birkin has many other books, and I also read in preparation, I'm a professional, one of the free chapters that you can find online from his book on creativity. In this chapter I really liked how he made the point that creativity is rarely the most efficient way to do things. It always involves taking chances and making mistakes, and we, as well as employers watching this in the creative industries, should cut ourselves some slack, / our employees some slack, if we're not working as productively as we believe we should. If you're involved in the creative industry or just want to push yourself creatively, or even if you do a lot of public speaking, it seems like Scott Birkin has a lot of really great advice. Other new articles in the Mindfull read category are a beautiful new zine. Never felt so old in my life, called Insomniar, that has a absolutely stunning Instagram page, and an article on Fast Company about how to fight post-pandemic anxiety, which I will definitely be reading. I like how the new resources here don't, 1, ask you to buy shit, and 2, automatically link you to Amazon, the root of all evil, to buy that shit, which were my gripes last time. Let's move on to watch.
Everybody swear they solid till you put that heat on.
Watch as Annette Lebedski creates burgers, Oreos and much more from paint, and then chops, smashes and swirls them into a beautiful combination of colours and textures. Yum! We tried this once. They looked shite, but boy was it satisfying. If you're feeling creative and stressed out, then have a crack at trying Annette's techniques for yourself. This certainly is not going to happen. I have a feeling things are about to get messy. Now I'm not going to do this with paint, because I don't have the skill, the materials, or any idea how she would do it. If watching things squish is your jam, jam would work.
Everybody swear they solid till you put that heat on ice. We was taught to shine, now we looking like the city lights. Heard that boy was switching up, tell him he gon' need advice. If you still around, you still by me, yeah, you did me right. And I told him that's a strong bet. Whole team winning, yeah, we all set. And we ain't really into that if you ain't on that. Once you give me the same love, I give it all back. It be the ones you don't expect to have it out for you. Even when I was down bad, I was down for you. Even if I ain't have it, bro, you had it too. I don't be feeling like that vibe is compatible. Okay, make no mistakes, now them boys don't mess around. Yeah, I'm flawless, I'm great, you should come and check me out. I'ma do what it take, long as they don't take me out.
Sickos. Look, I can see how this could be satisfying. I don't like mess. I have some pretty strong opinions about textures, but I get it. And if you like this sort of shit, then you should definitely check out sploshing. Look it up and laugh later. Not you, Mom. You just move on. We'll just move on.
Till things straighten out, yeah, this is brand new. Gear up on me, she up on me, man. Watching.
Let's just move on as if that sloppy debacle never happened. See what we're going to listen to. Jon Ronson On podcast. Jon Ronson On is a podcast that delves into every corner of humanity. Sounds long. From what it means to be normal to what traits make the best spies. With 7 series available free via BBC Sounds, there is literally no excuse for not binge listening to as many episodes as possible. If you haven't heard of Jon Ronson, I have, but if you haven't heard of Jon Ronson, just Google his old documentaries. They're hidden all over YouTube, and thank us later. He's also authored some fantastic books and written scripts for film. Alright, overachiever. Weird and wacky stuff from the only person to ever come close to rivaling Louis Theroux. Big claims. I've always been one small literary distraction away from buying Jon Ronson's book, The Psychopath Test. A podcast is a cheap, quick way to test the Ronson waters and see what I've been missing out on all this time. In the spirit of the format of this challenge, I'm just going to listen to the latest episode, which is about pride.
Writer, great minute. There's a moral conundrum he likes to try out on people.
And it's an aging but still lucid Hitler. You definitely recognise it's Hitler, he's kept a moustache. And he recognises you. And he says, "Oh, I love your show." And the moral conundrum is, do you turn him in?
I did enjoy that. I don't know why I sound surprised. It's like a series of little stories around pride and how our pride can make us act really strangely as humans. A lot of the stories seem to be about pride of your work, which I can definitely relate to. I get a little boost every time I tell someone what I do. Oh, you're a writer. Isn't that an interesting job? I bet you're a super interesting person. It's another part of the human condition. Shall we move on?
To separate your homie from your fan. Keep your hand due, for they steal a rock from your hand. Keep some dance moves if they tryna stick me for some.
So Mindfull wants us to do some fear setting. It says, Think of fear setting as the reverse of goal setting, but with equally, if not more, positive outcomes. Often it can be difficult to move past fear due to not being able to define exactly what the fear is or how it's affecting you. Laying down a list of all your biggest fears, whether personal or business related, can help you identify what you're afraid of and offer a clearer path towards addressing these fears. Start writing these lists on a monthly basis to start with. If you like, share your lists with someone you're close to and talk through your fears together. Let's do it. So fear is something I don't really know that much about, which seems like a weird thing to say because obviously we've all felt fear, and as a very anxious person, I feel fear 90% of the time. But I don't know a lot about what it is, where it's rooted, or how to conquer it. I just seem to keep collecting new ones. Come on in here, there's space for one more. And having read a little bit about it now, there are some behaviours and actions that I didn't even know were rooted in fear, like procrastination and jealousy. In the book Fearless, the author, Pippa Grange, says that she often asks her clients to describe what their fear looks like. Not the sweaty, grimacing reflection they see in the mirror, but something from their imagination. One example she gives is of a bull, fierce and snorting hot air out of its nose and pouring at the ground. Bulls pour at the ground? Do they hoof at the ground? Huffing at the ground. Yeah, I like it. Huffing. Grange says, an image has texture and tone that potentially language doesn't. It's really a way of allowing more descriptive material, more of the unconscious to come through in what someone's saying. And Grange says that detail is key here in order to really better understand the fear. In the bull example, the bull is tied up in an empty field. It's covered in mud and there are flies circling, driving it crazy. Dark storm clouds are gathering overhead. This shows that the fear is heavy and unpredictable and exacerbated by forces beyond its control. So, bringing together the worlds of Mindfull and Pippa Grange, let's start by creating this fear list and then go big. Once you've seen your fear, Grange says we need to face it, taking the insight and applying it to the real world situation. The bull can be harnessed, calmed, cleaned, and put to work in our favour, just like my swarm could be channeled to my own benefit. Then the next step is to replace the fear. Grange says we can replace our fear with a number of things, including laughter, passion, purpose, but one of the most effective replacements is simply telling a different story. She says that narratives inform us in extraordinarily powerful ways, and often we don't even realise that we hold the pen in our hand to control those narratives. She says we can't always control our own circumstances, but we can certainly control how we tell the story around those circumstances. And that is profoundly powerful, as that story is the way we run our lives. My new story is going to be around cutting myself some slack, not taking on too much, and instead channeling my energy and my focus in one direction. As well as fear setting, Mindfull has a few more new resources for you to do, including Frazzled Cafe, which is a completely free online support network and hub where you can meet new people, share stories and tips, and help one another overcome the overwhelm and stresses of modern day life. You can even join Ruby Wax, who founded Frazzled Cafe, in live sessions twice a week. I joined one of those recently, which started with a mindfulness exercise led by Ruby, and then we broke off into smaller groups to talk about mental health, what's going on in our lives, where we're struggling, and give one another support, advice if we have it, but just a listening ear. So I definitely recommend it. I'll link it below. Shall we move on?
Nice. Everybody swear they solid till you put that heat on nice. We was taught to shine, now we live.
Guys, we need to talk. Unfortunately, there are absolutely no new talk resources on the Mindfull site since last time we did this. So, exciting, I'm handing the reins back to Old Lady Luck for this very last part of this video. Here we go. Talk to overcome imposter syndrome. We've gone full circle. I only realised I had imposter syndrome in the last video, and now we're going to overcome it. What a way to finish this adventure! Since the first Mindfull video, I've become oh so aware of my imposter syndrome. Every time I lessen my achievements by telling people I don't have formal qualifications for the work I'm doing, or refuse to speak up in meetings because what I say can't be right, I'm not a trained professional. I just accidentally fell into this. Let's see what Mindfull tells us to do about it. Feeling like an imposter? We all do at some point, so speak to a colleague or friend about it. Almost everyone's felt some kind of imposter syndrome in their life, except maybe Donald Trump, which is ironic. So talking to someone about these feelings can go a long way in reminding you that most people know exactly how you feel. Feels good to know you're not alone. You're not an imposter. You're a bloody legend. You guys are my friends, right? Right? Let me ask you, how many of you have ever felt like an imposter? And how do those feelings show up for you? What do you feel? What do you find yourself doing? Where are you when it happens? Can you notice patterns? Have you got any tricks or practices you put in place to either prevent imposter syndrome, actively work to rid yourself of it, or squash those feelings in the moment? And what do you think you'd achieve if you didn't feel that way? Let me know in the comments or over Instagram. I know I have low self-esteem, and that throws spanners in the spokes of life for me on a regular basis, including feeling like I shouldn't be chatting away on here, and that one day a client in my day job is going to be like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here, who let you in? And then I'll look down and I'm naked and there's a clown playing a banjo of daggers in the corner. And it's exhausting. Always working both against the current and to the bone to ensure that your dreams don't get taken away. But you do deserve to be there, wherever you are. So keep doing you, boo, and keep talking to those around you, your colleagues, your friends, me, because pretty much everyone has felt that way. You never know. Someone might have a tip for you that's worked for them, that'll also work for you, that might also work for me, so pass it the fuck along. And if they don't, your relationship will get stronger from that kind of conversation, and you'll just find solace knowing it's not only you, you're not special. You're really special. Crikey, we're done. I should probably go take a bath, eh? Rude not to. Make sure you check out Mindfull. Let me know your favourite resources, let me know what has worked for you, and like this video for further bath-based content. Remember, take care of yourself, but you know that by now, eh?